A very hearty good morning to one and all. Today I welcome you all. I am Dr. Ira Tiwari, Assistant Professor, Institute of Economics and Finance. This program is a panel discussion being organized by Institution Innovation Council of the university it is an initiative of Ministry of HRD, that is Human Resource Development, a Ministry of Education initiative and an MHRD initiative, and it's the first and foremost event of the Institution Innovation Council of Bundelkhand University. It is a panel discussion on Atmanirbhar Bharat, Vocal for Local, Make in India for the World. So we have more than 80, 100, around 100 participants right now with us, and many are joining because we have around 235 registered candidates for the event. For our eminent speakers include respected Professor Ganesh Kavadia sir. He is the Professor of Economics, and he has also been a part of the NAC of India and UGC Nepal as an assessor. He has been the former Dean, Faculty of Social Sciences, and former Head, School of Economics, Devi Ahilya University, Indore. And on top of it, sir has been my guide, my mentor, my guru, and most I welcome you, sir, to our panel discussion, and thanks a lot for gracing the occasion with your presence. We are indeed in gratitude with your presence. Our next speaker is Dr. Nagendra Kumar Maurya. He is the Assistant Professor of Applied Economics from the University of Lucknow. Formerly, he has been a part of our university, and we are always privileged enough to get his guidance and presence in our major events. Thanks a lot, sir, for joining us in the event. And lastly, we have Mr. Dheeraj Khullar with us, who is the Secretary General, Bundelkhand Chamber of Commerce, Jhansi, and he is a representative of the industrial sector in our panel discussion. The chairperson of Institution Innovation Council in Bundelkhand University is Professor Aparna Raj Madam. She is Professor of the Institute of Tourism and Hotel Management and the convener of IIC. We welcome you, ma'am, for joining us in the program. Our patron, of course, is our Honorable Vice Chancellor, Sir, Professor J.V. Veshampayan. And so we all thank him for giving us an opportunity to present ourselves on this platform. To begin with, I would like to request respected Professor Ganesh Kavadia sir to throw light on the various aspects of Atmanirbhar Bharat. What does it mean for being vocal for local, and how in the world of international specialization, when there is practically no situation of autarky, how can India aim to make for the world, especially when we are going for the service sector specialization. So, sir, please throw lights on these important questions. We are really excited to hear your views about that. Respected Professor Ganesh Kavadia, sir.
See, almost all commodities we are able to have a export surplus. Pulses and edible oil is our only weakness, and therefore there is a need to change the agriculture policy, and this farmers bill is the step in the right direction. So India's position at current, India is now world top exporter of rice, and our share is around 33%, surpassing China. It becomes third largest cotton exporter. India is also a significant player of spices, fruits, vegetables. Those export sales are tiny compared to the US and UK. The potential is much higher with the changing geopolitical reality, the trade war between China and the US, and expanding trade opportunities with Central and East Asian countries. Now, Europe is also looking for better trade ties with India in spite of stringent food safety standards. So, we have a huge opportunity. India has worked, or if you want to achieve this target, India has to work hard on this missed opportunity. We never, means after globalization, we ignored agricultural policy, and as a result, there is a huge crisis in the agriculture, and therefore we need that in Atmanirbhar Bharat, Government should give all huge infrastructure for agro export. We want huge port, shipping, transportation, everything. That is all. India has to set a target to export at least 33 agricultural production, which is currently only 7.5%. We have to grow at the rate of more than 30%. This can help India to catch up with China, which is the fourth largest agricultural exporter after EU, European Union, US, Brazil, despite less acreage than that of India. That is the major issue, and therefore there is a need for better agricultural process. However, the EU 16.1%, US 13.8%, dominating the share of agricultural exports. Our is just 7.5%. And our agricultural conditions are better than these conditions, but still our exports are lagging. And therefore, we need. The other important condition is that we have a favorable condition to boost our agro export. On positive side, there is a significant structural shift in the global export in favor of developing countries, mainly because of cheap labor. For the first time in 2019, India figured among the 10 exporting countries by displacing New Zealand. India's share of the global agricultural export increased from 0.8% in 1990 to 1% in 1995, and now it is reached to 3.1% recently. Other developing countries are also picking.
And the aim means the aim which Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi ji was basically when he was talking about Atmanirbhar Bharat. The basic aim of this campaign is to make the country and its citizens independent and self-reliant in all senses. And as a part of this campaign, Atmanirbhar Bharat, he further outlined 5 pillars of Atmanirbhar Bharat: economy, infrastructure, system, vibrant demography, and demand. But before I talk about the role of this campaign and what would be the future, what should be the future strategy of the Indian policy makers to make the Indian economy as the self-reliant economy, we should understand what are the current challenges faced by the Indian economy. If we do not focus, if we do not take the discussion about the challenges faced by the Indian economy, we cannot take the proper strategy to remove it. First of all, we all are aware that from last 2 years, not only the Indian economy, but the whole world is going through very tough times, and that is because of the onset of COVID-19 pandemic. To avoid or to spread the serious effects of pandemic on human loss, the governments, not only in India but world over, has taken a common policy, that is lockdown. And because of those lockdowns, there was a crumbling down of the whole economic system, because all the economic activities were standstill. Nothing was moving down, especially those serious lockdown days.
One district, one product scheme. And specifically, you talk about of the district industrial centers and the demand side. So, demand lies in one of the 5 pillars of Make in India, that includes economy, infrastructure, systems, demography, and demand. So, I think the fifth pillar needs to be strengthened. And the main crux that we could derive is that a good policy, even with bad implementation, results to bad results.
So it is where we need to improve in terms of implementation strategy and how to make demand more, the Keynesian prescription of increasing demand. So we need to think in that context. So thank you so much, sir. And now we invite Mr. Dheeraj Khullar, sir, and he's a commerce graduate and master's in management studies from Delhi. And he has started in career in Jhansi as entrepreneur way back in mid 1980s. So he has literally seen the positive sides and negative sides of liberalization. And presently he is the general secretary of Bundelkhand Chamber of Commerce. So as now we know that under one district, one product, soft toys is the product for Jhansi. And so Mr. Khullar has been involved with many meetings and on the practical side that how actually the implementation is taking place. So please elaborate us your views and enlighten us with practical experiences, what your experiences have been so far. So we welcome Mr. Dheeraj Khullar, sir.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Am I audible? Are you able to hear me?
Yes, sir, you are audible. You are very much audible.
Thank you so much. We just heard some very, very eminent speakers, our distinguished economists, our professors, and after hearing all of that from them, I'm truly feeling a little tongue-tied because I'm not academician, not like the beautiful, brilliant academician we've just heard recently, but nevertheless, I will try to do justice. To begin with, let me first congratulate the host for putting the show together. It's a wonderful initiative, and I'm sure it's going to go a long way in promoting this beautiful object of Atmanirbhar.
Product. What blueprints needed to make local Indian brands truly global? And what
Madam, your audio is not proper. Your voice is coming break. Your voice is breaking. Your voice, please improve your audio. I'm not able to listen your question.
Now I am audible?
Yeah, now it is better.
Okay. Sorry, sir. Okay, yeah. So, once again, I just repeat the things. Okay.
You can directly pose the
Here
question.
we have a lot of queries by a keen and curious audience. The first question is raised by Ms. Shikha Soni to Professor Kavadia, sir. She just want to ask that Atmanirbhar Bharat aim to make local products global, but what all blueprints are needed to make local Indian brands truly global, as well as policies and environment would enable local brands to thrive on the
I think we had a wonderful panel discussion in which we had the opportunity to listen to Kavadia sir and had a very practical example on structural transformations and specifically from Impress, ICSSR, from Nagin Maurya sir and Dheeraj Khullar sir. I'm thankful to you for especially for giving us a free opportunity to all our kids for startups, because that would be practical thing that we could be doing on our university level. So I'm really thankful to the gist of the panel discussion. I feel has been the more we need to balance the growth, as Kavadia sir has talked about agriculture, and Nagin sir has focused upon manufacturing, and specifically if we have good programs like one district, one product, but implementation strategies. And Khullar sir has talked about startups and how can he has laid faith upon that Make in India program will flow and the deficiencies would be overcome with time, but policy need to be geared up for that, and we certainly need guidance from our elders and the initiatives from young professors like Maurya sir to do more of such studies, and specifically insights from experienced professors like Kavadia sir to guide us on each path and not to get heartbroken if some deficiencies are visible, and from practical help from people from industry like from Khullar sir. So I extend my sincere thanks, sir. This was on a very short notice, and I reached out to you, and you agreed upon this program and gave us so much of more than 2.5 hours you have given to this program. But for a formal vote of thanks, I would like to invite our group member, Dr. Mahendra Singh, who is the Assistant to Professor of Institute of Tourism and Management, and he's also part of the IDP cell and a part of the Institution Innovation Council. And for a formal vote of thanks to our speakers and for the whole of the event. So, Dr. Mahendra Singh, sir.
Thank you, Dr. Aaron. A very good afternoon to all. On behalf of the organizing team, I take opportunity to thank you all. I would like to pay my sincere thanks to our eminent speakers, Professor Ganesh Kavadia ji, Mr. Dheeraj Khullar sir, and Dr. Nagendra Kumar Maurya sir, for sparing their precious time and compose a viable panel discussion based on the theme Atmanirbhar Bharat, Vocal for Local, Make in India for the World. I hope all the participants have learned a lot from your astonishing experiences and knowledge sharing session.